Hi guys, Jack Blair here for the Boxing Promoter podcast. Only a short podcast today. I'm sorry for the delay with getting it recorded. I just haven't had time in the last couple of days, but here we are. So, a couple of things on the agenda to discuss today about the game. First of all, this morning I received feedback from the big indie pitch that I went to. So I'll talk you through some of the feedback they offered on the game. A couple of bugs that have appeared in the latest version, and a small update on release date, or kind of what my latest discussions have been with the developers. What else? Oh, kind of like a call out to boxers, and then a little update from my own fight at the weekend. So that's what we've got going on. Let's start with the bugs that have been found. So I was doing a little bit of testing, and one of them appeared actually at the big indie pitch. So this has only just come in with the latest update, I believe, or certainly I haven't seen it. I had it flagged to me before. So with my second boxer that I hired, I sent him in to go for his first fight against a shocking fighter, and he somehow lost, which is one thing that needs to be looked into, but that's not where the bug appeared, because that is just down to chance. So then when I went to schedule his second fight, nobody appeared as a potential opponent. It was almost like I was so bad that nobody would possibly want to fight me. So that happened. I had to actually fire him and hire a new fighter to get rid of that. So I sent that over to the dev team, and they'll look at getting that obviously all resolved. That's just quite an obvious bug. The other thing, as I went to schedule my third fight, I'd run out of funds. So one thing we were doing for an updated version was to make all of the money a little bit more realistic, because at the moment you earn a lot more money than you spend, kind of taking away the decision making factor with money. But yeah, literally by the third fight I didn't have enough money to actually book a fight, and I had to go and watch a video to do so, which is not what I want. So I've asked them to just add 50 coins to the starting fund. Hopefully that'll give you the opportunity to get yourself up and running, or if it is going to be that difficult, then we need a prompt saying, well, maybe you should pay your boxers less, or try and watch a video to get some money, something like that. Otherwise people are just going to get stuck so early in the game and turn it off. So they are the two bugs that the team is now aware of, and they'll look at getting them resolved obviously for the full release. So that's an exciting, well, not really exciting, but that's what's gonna happen with them bugs. So I sent them an email just this morning about, you know, what we're going to be expecting, because this is now into the final push. You know, they said to me that they believe in its kind of simplest format the game can be ready for the end of the month. Well, you know, we're like a week away, a week and a bit away. So that's not what I'm targeting release. I'll be targeting release mid-August to catch in with the Mayweather McGregor kind of hype, and also I want to add a couple of bits to it. So I've said I want to add in coach comments in the tail of the tape. So the coach will basically tell you what fight style you should go for in a roundabout way. It won't be as simple as to spoon feed it, but that will be what it's there for. So it needs to appear in the tail of the tape, or in the game plan screen, or something around there. So that'll be worked on. What else is there? Oh, a stats improvement. So this came back a lot of times in feedback, and it was in the original design of the game that after or before a fight, or after a set of fights, you'll get a kind of screen that will show the increase in a fighter's stats, which is really important because you want to see your fighters progressing. So all the stats increase before a fight, so we want to have kind of a like a training camp screen. So here your training camp's finished, here are the coaches that coached your fighter, and this is what's happened to his chin stat, his defense, all his defensive stats, all of his offensive stats, and here's what they're going to be like going into the fight. So that's a really important screen, and I said to the guys, I don't want to release a game without that in, so that'll definitely be added. And there's a couple more bits that came in feedback, some smaller things to add, but them two are kind of the maybe bulkier pieces that we need to get sorted before this targeted release in mid-August. So that's what kind of went on with them. What else? So let's go on to the big indie pitch. So I received feedback today, and there was kind of only really 2 pieces of feedback. So first of all, they liked the concept of the game. That was kind of all I got from them, that they liked the concept of the game. But that's kind of quite a generic bit of feedback. But one thing is that they didn't understand what type of a game it was, whether it was a management game, a card battling game, or a clicker. I did email them back saying I don't really understand this feedback. I understand why it could be seen as a card battling game because of how the stats work out. But when they asked me questions, obviously I explained it's not like a top trumps where you're battling against stats. There's a different algorithm for fight outcomes, so it's not as simple as that. There's a lot more to it than just a card battling game, or certainly I think so. And well, there is, you've got to build up and develop your team and things like that. So it's not a card battling game, but I understand that. The whole point around a clicker, I have no idea why people would think the game is a clicker game, like a Tap Tycoon, and I can't think of the other games like that. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just not. So I'm not sure why that came up. If that came up from one person or if it came up quite a few times. But if you've noticed and you think that it's a clicker, then please let me know, because I'm still kind of scratching my head wondering why people would think that. So if it's something I need to change, then it's something I need to change. The other piece of feedback was around the UI, and basically just said making it look nicer, making it look a bit sharper in the UI. So I don't know if we can I'll speak to the team, feed that back to them and say, is there some sharpening we can do with the artwork to make it look a bit cleaner? I quite like how it is. I think it's quite fun and playful. I don't want it to be like some super serious. Obviously you're doing a management job, but I want it to actually look like a game as well, not just a spreadsheet basically. So but that's not me just like not able to take feedback. I have taken their feedback on board. So we'll try and work on that. I do want to somehow excavate more feedback from them, because even the ones that they have given, it's a little bit vague. So I kind of emailed back saying like, well, could you elaborate a little bit more on this, or what would you advise that I could do with this? So hopefully I can get some more feedback, because they are the experts. They know gaming way more than me. So what they've given me is good, but I kind of would love a little bit more feedback from them. Last couple of things. So I kind of said giving like a shout out to boxers. So what I mean by this is that I need, as we've sort of covered in previous podcasts, I need as much support and help as I can, particularly for release day and before and kind of building up the hype of the game. So when it comes around to it, and I sort of give a go ahead, I want as many boxers, boxing personalities, podcasters, bloggers, coaches, promoters, whatever, tweeting about the game. Now I know that's difficult because there's really is a lack of kind of, well, what's actually in it for them. Well, they don't really get anything out of it, but this boxing game is free for their fans and for them. So hopefully I can get as many people kind of as these influencers behind the game as possible to just like start tweeting about it as it's kind of nearing release date. So that's what I'm trying to do today. So if anyone knows any boxers, promoters and that personally, and they could kind of give them a little bit of a nudge when the time is right, that would be absolutely amazing for me, because just reaching out to as many people as possible about this game it is to cut down on the amount that I have to do for paid advertising. So that'd be much appreciated, but I know that there isn't really that much in it for them, so it's a bit cheeky, but we'll see how it goes. Final bit to cover, my white collar boxing fight. So it was on last Saturday. There was a delay with starting. I had to fight about midnight, which was way past my bedtime, so I was shattered. But I went in there, I was a bit tentative. I didn't box in my normal style. I felt I'd done enough to get a draw in the fight. I'm going to post them up on my own account. I probably won't post them on the Boxing Player account, but I thought I'd done okay at times, and I done one in the third round and knocked him around a bit, but the ref scored it to him, which is fair enough, and I've got to kind of prepare for maybe doing it a third time in the future, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I will catch you next time. Cheers, bye.